sturdier than like just say if you got pine or anything. But it's been really beneficial. I can if you ever notice me and if I had the camera on and I'm looking not dead set at you, it's probably because I got the my Google on one of three different windows.
Nice.
Yeah,
So,
hello guys.
hey Dave,
Hey.
what's going on, buddy?
Yeah, not much, not much. Been a long week, man. Been a long week, but we are here now. Um,
I,
so if I remember correctly, Jeff isn't coming because he's on a trip.
he's yeah, he's went down. Was he going to Hot Atlanta? I mean, I know he was passing through Tennessee.
Nice.
Yeah, I think he was going to Hot Atlanta.
He's gonna be all dirty south on us this weekend. I understand.
Excellent.
Well, it's probably pretty cold out there now, or getting that way. Is it getting chilly down where you are?
Uh, yeah, it's a little bit. I mean, it's. I think it's. There's been a couple mornings that I wake up and it's like 48 or 49 degrees, but it's been like a low 70s today, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was hated that because like when you're like going to work or out and about in the morning, you need to wear a coat, and then
Yeah,
by the time you get out, you're like, man, I shouldn't have this coat. It's making my life miserable.
Yeah.
there is a exchange student in one of my classes, and she's from Sao Paulo, and this past week was the first week she experienced cold, and it was different for that poor lady.
I imagine that would be crazy. Like your whole life living, around the equator, and then not having that beyond maybe air conditioning, and then it's
I,
like, whoa.
I told her, I was like, well, honey, we sometimes get 2 foot of snow up here, which, I mean, other parts of the country laugh at us for that, but like, she's in for a nice winter.
Yep. Well, so I guess what we'll do is we can do vignettes for you and Kyle, and I'll have you kind of go over the story thus far, um,
Okay, well,
and then
I can
um,
really only
mhm.
remember my part of it. I think
Okay,
I remember that Jeff's character was contacted by someone in the agency. I got the impression, and he was going to a. But before we start recording, I just want to make sure I get this straight.
oh sure,
He went to a like bus terminal, like a locker in a bus terminal or something like that.
yeah, it
Was that
was
where it was?
a post office box, I think,
Post office
or
box.
a
Okay.
safe deposit box, something like that.
And he contacted some survivors. And he also contacted a guy who was a sports metaphor. And if I understood sports, that would have made more sense. Um,
Oh,
but
you listen to it. Well, you can
well, of
help. You
course.
can help. All right, man. You're doing the homework.
You may
All
have to
right.
tell me what I did.
Yeah. Oh, you
So
you
so
were
wait.
about.
I'll do the intro. Welcome
Look,
once again to On the Remembered Slopes. With this evening, I have Kyle and Adam. We're going to be playing Agents, Aliens, and Assange. If you'd like to support the podcast, head over to otrs.space, or as we lovingly refer to it as Otter Space. Hit the donate link at the top of the page or in the description. I think I also will have it set up once the video is published that there'll be nice links on the left side of the video that you can just click to send us money instantly, which will be neat. Um, like so. I guess Kyle has apparently done his homework,
Yes.
and so he can help Adam recap what happened last time from beyond space and time, and then we'll jump right in.
Yes, I've got insights that I shouldn't have. The
well,
natural skill.
Sanity roll.
Oh no.
so in this build, by the way, and it's unique. Just to throw this out there, I'll do this with my character introduction and all that. Delta Green has a really nice feature to where they have a list of non-traditional kind of roles that you can take up, and one of them is a cult investigator. And with that, they'll give you a certain number of skill types that they would recommend that you invest in, and then the rest of it is up to your discretion and all that. And I really like that with creating this character, which I am playing David Blythe. And David is an occult investigator. So, and as I mentioned beforehand, his backstory is he was his parents or family, I believe, was in a cult, and after the cult went up in a Waco-ish style attack,
Conflagration.
yeah, operation, could be ATF, could have been some men with green triangles. He witnessed the cult leader do something miraculous. I think he ascended into the sky in flame. I can't remember exactly what I said, but kind of going with that. So when my character began his misadventures last week, he was trying to serve papers as a side job. He does a cult investigation, but hasn't quite, that's not lucrative. So he's, serving papers. And one of the clients, or clients, what would you call that? Mark, that he was going to give the papers to. He
Servee. The served.
the go ahead.
The served.
The serve. He uh, followed them a little bit out of town. I believe we're playing this in Knoxville, if I'm not mistaken, and witnessed this man talking. I pulled over to the gas station and witnessed him talking to someone. It looked like he was talking to someone, and that kind of weirded David out. He had an opportunity to talk with the man afterwards. He also snapped a few surveillance pictures just because he carries a DSLR. And later the next day, he goes to the serve's house to deliver the papers early in the morning. He just kind of wanted to get to the bottom of it. And upon knocking on the door, he found that the door was open, walked in, found the man in a, I guess, den or not living room, yeah, den or living room type of area, a man cave maybe. And he could see, if I'm not mistaken, they weren't there, but they were there, like kind of like wires and so forth.
Well, the thing is, how he sees it is his DSLR is reflecting something other than what his eyes are. So
Awesome.
when he first, photographs the conversation, he photographs the guy having a conversation with a blur that is not there in real life. And the same goes for those tendrils coming out of his static TV. It's all on his DSLR and not visible right now.
And awesome. I'm glad you remembered that. I forgot I was looking through the camera. I knew that had to have something to do with it. I knew there was a camera. If I'm not mistaken, when I left off, I had taken the serve to my car, and I think I observed that the tendrils become less noticeable or more, I guess, opaque the further away I go, because the TV was on and there was like static playing. I remember that in the scene as well. And I think I was on the way to the hospital to take him, or maybe I made it to the hospital, or am I imagining that part?
Yeah, I think you did drop him off, and you were in the waiting room waiting for the police to come question you.
Okay, awesome. And Kyle, you seem to be the one better equipped on this. Do you care to sum up Jeff's grand exploits?
Yeah, Jeff was contacted by the character who was basically manning the basement with the chalkboard and whatnot at the end of the last scenario, and he was told to go to what is it? Not to a Waffle House, in fact, but to a post office and use a post office box key. He did all kinds of OPSEC while he was doing that, but he basically got away with a package, and the package has quite a bit of money. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen Way of the Gun, but in that they describe it was like Jeff has millions of dollars now, and they in that movie they describe that much money as motivation with the universal adapter. That's pretty much what he's got right now. And so,
remember. Go ahead.
Oh, that money is all in a offshore account in the Cayman Islands, as I recall. And he's already established that he cannot access that money without somebody noticing. Who does notice, and what happens as a result is still up in the air. But That's so far what he's investigated. He made a call to someone who is not Delta Green, but who described himself with a sports metaphor that I did not understand, and that guy gave him some interesting and pretty good advice, I thought. And so that's how his that's what I remember about how that went.
Yeah, so he got he got the number for Charles out of the weird letter. So his friend called him up, his old buddy from back in the day when he was working as a torturer for the CIA, and
That's right.
he called him and was like, they've got me, you should open that letter that I sent you all those years ago. And when he opened it, he found the key, went and got the stuff, and then there was a list of phone numbers, and one of those was just Charles, and the other ones had like first and last names. So that's when he got in contact with Charles, and based on what I guess a good way of thinking about Charles is that Charles is the guy who maybe watches the watchers, so to speak. That was kind of what I was driving at with the commissioner metaphor.
Yeah, that was it.
He, he's involved, but he's not making things happen. He's just kind of a facilitator. So yeah, good recap. Oh, and Adam, what did you find? Did you find anything strange at the man's house?
I remember the TV. I'm looking at my notes on my character sheet, which are very lacking. I'm not recalling that I found anything. I remember there
Pipe.
was static, and he had headphones on.
And there was an object.
Oh, I did pick up something. And something fell off of his body. I
I
remember.
think you know what this object is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't see it, but you could feel it.
Yeah. So I
yeah.
had pocketed it.
Excellent. All right,
I'm
so
glad
you're
you
in
all
the
remembered.
yeah, you're in the waiting room. Awaiting the police to arrive. So Kyle, why don't you introduce yourself, and we'll rewind the clock in vignette fashion to show events that are progressing about a day ago.
I don't know where in my a day ago I am already in Indianapolis, Indiana, and hating it. And my character's name is Ryan, which is not the alias I use with people, but with people I say I am the mechanic, which is a hacker handle, and it is really real dumb.
Is that spelled with a 3 instead of an E?
No, that would be going a bit too far. I'm not that dumb. I'm just kind of dumb. This is like the kind of thing you might see in real life, because it's taken from a what's that actor? Not Lee Van Cleef.
Jason Statham.
No, Jason Statham remade the mechanic from the 70s, basically.
Okay.
Redford?
No, it's Oh man,
I'm Googling it. I got this.
Thank you.
We need an intern. We needed an intern to do that.
Oh gosh,
Look up
dude,
the reference.
It's fucking Bronson, like Charles Bronson.
Yes, of course. Yeah, that's why it hurts so much to forget.
He did eventually get his death wish, by the way, but I'm sorry.
Oh, ouch.
Man, he was in Westerns too. By the way, I gotta get this out of my system now, and then I'll play. You mentioned Way of the Gun, and now all I have is that introduction where they punch that woman in the face, and that guy threatens somebody, goes, "I'm gonna fuck start your face." Now it's just running through my head, that quote. So now I'm ready, Dave. I'm in the zone.
It's not the best movie, but it got some great lines.
For it having Ryan Felipe in it, it was pretty good.
Yeah. Anyway.
Alrighty. But yeah, so the mechanic is in Indianapolis. That sounds like the mole is at the top of the circus. But yes. So yes, what are you up to today?
Oh, I am currently. I guess. All right, I've got that whole what is it? 3-hour work week, or that thing that you read about, and basically just I'm working from home and managing a server remotely, and it's super boring, and I'm mostly just on like Imgur or something. And I don't know if how long ago, but a while ago I just put out like a blog saying I'm bored as shit. I hate it here. I wish I was somewhere else.
Okay. So yeah, you're browsing through Imgur, and it's the typical internet dreck. And then you run across a picture that's multiple QR codes wrapped into one picture.
I love QR
and
codes.
and like colorized, and it looks like an artistic spin on like a hidden image puzzle for the intelligentsia.
I could handle this in a smart way, but instead I'm going to get out my phone and point it at different angles to see what pops out.
Okay, yeah. It looks like, depending on the angle, it seems to be detecting many, many more than you're kind of seeing. So you'll get like
Excellent.
from one angle you'll see in the corner, and then you'll turn it a little bit, and it'll zoom in on a tiny one, in that within that quadrant, and then you move it a little bit more, and it'll go in the middle. It's like the whole thing is just alive with data.
And what's coming out of them?
They're mostly they look like garbage links, but someone with your level of SIGINT, which would be
Oh, let's see here. I should pop that out. 45.
45. You think these might be onions?
Oh, nice. All right, I'm gonna. All right. I'm gonna collect them all and send them in a text file and put them on my computer because I want to. I don't want to do Tor from my phone.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I get up on Tor.
Okay. So yeah, you collect the list of links, and you go up on Tor, and each of them is empty, but it's showing. If you go back and look at like the last time, it just has like the last accessed and then the access before that.
Huh.
It looks like they've all been accessed immediately before you accessed them.
These are links or these Tor
The
nodes
pa-
or?
yeah, the pages.
Oh, okay. All right. So someone else is ahead of me. That sucks. All right. I guess they're like one-time use links. I go to the end of the list. Have I got all the way through them already?
Yeah, so when you kind of jump around trying to head off whoever it is, and you
Yep.
do manage to get to one of them first.
Ah, nice.
Luckily for you. Um, and what you see here is it's a bunch of what looks like binary. It's just like page after page after page of binary data. I mean, like your whole scroll bar on the right side is like it's just giant. You can scroll
Does it
down
look like
for days.
it is data of a binary, right? It's
Yeah.
not actual
No.
ones and zeros. Okay,
No, it's
good.
actual ones and zeros. It's actual
Wait,
ones and zeros.
I mean, but those are rendered as text, right?
Yes.
Okay, rendered improper. Okay,
Yes.
I'm gonna save those. Yeah, I can hit save on that, right?
Yeah.
All right, and I'm gonna check it with IDA Pro to see if it's an executable.
Yeah. It seems like there might be multiple executables here.
Oh crap!
When you take the whole thing you know, in one go, it doesn't work. But if you take little snippets of it, maybe 30 pages here or 40 pages there, there are objects embedded in it. You're not quite sure if they're executables, if they're data files, what they are.
Huh. All right. Well, huh. Um, do I know what kind of machine it was compiled for?
Um,
Or are they all different?
it you're not quite. I mean, you take a look and you really set to work on one of them. And this one, it appears to be some kind of key. for something. It's and you're like, well, why would they go to the trouble of taking, a key and then turning it into binary and then putting it up here? Because there's that additional step of taking it out of the binary and putting it back into a key form.
Yeah, that is weird. Is it like a cryptographic key or
Yeah,
something more literal? Okay.
Yeah, you think it's a cryptographic key, some kind of. You're not sure if it's a private key or a public key, but it's something.
All right. Well. All right. I'm going to. Like, is it a standard format key for anything?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's some kind of. It's a little different than like an RSA key. It's got a weird twist to it that you're not entirely sure what it is. It's like somebody customized RSA with an additional feature. There's some data on the end that acts for an additional feature.
Can I ask GPG to ignore the additional feature and just give me the metadata from that key?
Yes, absolutely.
Is there an email address attached?
Yes, there is.
Okay. And what is it?
It is it's a very long garbled, word at the beginning, and then it's some kind of lesser known email client, email hosting place. I forget the name of it, but it's basically one that's an encrypted email service.
Okay.
And so we'll call it lockpro.nz or something like that.
Yes, names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. All right. I'm going to. Does the extra feature, does that become apparent when I do this, or is that still not something I understand?
Yeah, it's still so because you're like, well, if I take that last 20 characters off, it works just fine. What is this about? Why is this here?
All right. Well, I'm going to. I'm going to send a regular encrypted email to that address and be like, "Hey, sup." I'm going to not send that from my personal account. I'm going to send that as the mechanic TM.
Sure. Okay. So yeah, you send it, and crazily enough, like the second that you hit send, a response pops up in your inbox.
Oh, that was a bot.
And the contents is it's a set of coordinates.
All right. This is entertaining. I'm going to punch them into Google Maps.
Okay. You punch them into Google Maps, and you get a location somewhere in Alaska.
Ah, interesting. Alaska, huh? Well,
there's another ping on your inbox.
All right. Check it.
More coordinates.
All right. Where are they?
Place called Iowa Falls, Iowa.
Oh, neither of these sound like attractive places to go. All right.
Another
sounds made up, but yet real.
Oh no, they don't have very original names out there. I know about flyover countries. Flyover countries. I'm not that.
You could say Broadway or Main Street, and every city's got one, but Iowa Falls.
I know, right? If we ever have an On the Remembered Slopes convention, if we ever get big enough for that, we're gonna do it in Iowa Falls, Iowa. We're gonna be the only people. We're gonna show up and be like wandering out around the mall. This is where it happened.
This is all the way off topic, but have you guys seen Jeff's Google Plus post today?
No.
It's just a picture of the Waffle House. He says, "I'm at the morning briefing."
Yes.
I was trying to take a hit off my vape pen, and I think it just shot out my eyes.
It's Some kind of dragon maneuver right there.
Go right ahead. I'm sorry, guys. I just had to
Oh,
chime
no,
in.
no worries.
All right, I'm going to.
More coordinates keep flooding in.
Okay.
And it looks like, so there'll be a batch, and then there'll be a message that just says end, and then there'll be another batch. And all these batches, I mean, you know that they're collected together, they're grouped, but you don't know what they're referring to.
I get out MS Paint or some shit, and I start drawing. I start basically doing that pins and the lines, but with MS Paint, and
Sure.
I see if they make shapes.
It looks like not not intentionally. There's some
Okay.
lines that cross over and backtrack.
Hmm.
You see that there's a lot of activity, around weird sites. Places like Area 51, places like Dulles Air Force Base, places like there's a Naval Underwater Research Station in Las Vegas. Um, you
Interesting.
know, weird, conspiracy play. Like when you Google these, some of these locations, there's pages and pages of conspiracy data, and then there are others that are, just back and forth down a, small highway in Boise or, you know, up and down the coast. It doesn't appear to
Huh.
be. Some of them are weird, and some of them are just completely normal locations.
This is some strange ass viral marketing. All right. Well, I'm going to go on. I'm going to go on one of those ARG websites,
Mm-hmm.
like alternate reality game, and see if anyone else is posting about this, so then I can steal what they're doing.
It doesn't appear like you do like a search, an advanced search on the Imager link that you found trying to find forum hits. It doesn't look
Uh-huh.
like anybody's posted anything.
Oh well, then I'm going to post it up there and let them work out the hard stuff while I keep working.
Alrighty.
Just the Imager links. I'll let them do the rest. In fact, that maybe they can't, but we'll see. All right. So a lot of no, it doesn't make shapes. If I zoom into those locations, is there anything interesting in the map itself?
A few of them have that weird like Google enforced blur over them.
Ah, all right. So those are where there's secret stuff and we don't even know it yet.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, that's handy. Um, hmm. And there, anything interesting about the order in which they're placed?
Uh, I not that you can see.
Huh.
It just seems like it's sending you batches of information.
All right, just coordinates. Let's see. Um, is there anything interesting about a particular set? As in, is there anything interesting per batch? What happens before end?
You see that there are a lot of them that loop back to the beginning,
Okay, so
um, and
could
then
they
there
be
are
viewed
some
as
that don't.
could they be viewed as like car journeys? Are they within like are they? I tell you what, do they follow roads or do they follow the air? Like, do they follow like a standard air freight? Well, I don't know how air shipping works, but
Hmm.
I know standard air routes are along certain paths.
Yeah, there are. A lot of the flight. A lot of the long distance travel seems to match up with commercial flight paths.
All
Um,
right.
However, there are some diversions to like the middle of nowhere on the
Okay.
longer journeys. There are also, the majority of the travel does take place on roads, but you see that, the majority of them have at least one diversion into somewhere that doesn't have really anything going on. It'll be city, 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 um, you know, airport, airport, highway out to God only knows where, and then back to the airport. That kind of thing.
So when they're okay, I see. So I get it. So when there is a middle of nowhere, it's a middle of nowhere with an airport.
Well, not all of them. Some of them will be, drive along the road for, a location on one end of a road, a location on the other end of a road, and then a forest.
Right. I mean, it's tracking. It's tracking. I mean more when whatever it is tracking, it is the kind of it's tracking a person and not an airplane itself. Is
Yes.
I guess what I'm saying.
Yeah, you'd imagine, yes.
Okay. So people along these routes, they're traveling. They're going out to the middle of the forest. They're going. I'm gonna ask. All right, I'm going to see if these. I'm going to pull up a map of popular geocaching sites.
Okay.
And I'm going to see if any of those locations and forests have been geocached.
Not really. There's a few that kind of match, sorta, but the vast majority of them don't have any sort of geocaching correlation.
All right. Okay. So, are any of these at small airfields?
There are a few. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is it? Is it? I could. I don't know well enough. I as a player am failing my bureaucracy role to know how to access flight records online. I know how to access planes currently in the air, but I don't necessarily know how to see when planes did fly over areas. So I'm gonna Google that. Can I make a Google roll?
Yeah, sure. I just go ahead and roll SIGINT, and if you make it, you can Google it.
I make technology. I got 45. And I get a 44. All right.
Nice, crit success. Yeah, go ahead and Google it.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to Google if there's where the database is to search about how airplanes, like when airplanes travel along, the flight paths and logs and that sort of business.
Sure. So I guess with the critical success, I'll say that when you find it, you not only know what it is in game, but you also have the ability to access it, like you've, cracked it in the past or something like that.
Excellent. Okay.
Or a guy.
Yeah, it's there. I'm sure there are legit uses for such a system.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm going to access that, and I'm going to see. I'm going to look at one of these flights to nowhere.
Okay. The person, like the passenger manifest, it is just a bunch of boxes.
Interesting. And they're not being handled by anyone, so that person's not listed on the manifest. Do the boxes have serial numbers or anything interesting about them?
It's just dimensions and weights.
All right. Okay. That's interesting, but it's not a thing I can send back for points. So, all right. I'm going to access another one. Oh, okay. I see. What do all those weights add up to?
I don't know. 2,147 pounds.
Okay, not the weight of a human being, unless it was a very fat person. Okay. It might be a 2,000-pound person just disguising their path to the U.S. Okay. Let's see.
They are the flight path is over Walmart's for some reason. Relation.
Another one that you've accessed. Another one that you accessed. The passenger manifest is for 4 passengers with the names of dead actors. You can pick which actors.
Nice.
Bronson.
It's not going to be Charles Bronson. That would be too cool.
Damn it.
That indicates good taste. And metagaming, I know that these people do not have that good of taste. Let's see here. 4 actors. I'm going to say It's the cast of From Dusk Till Dawn. The first 4 names on that.
From Dusk Till Dawn, that would be Clooney,
Probably Quentin Tarantino.
Tarantino, Hayek, and
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
oh, my bad. I'm trying to think. Keitel.
Nice.
Yeah, that works.
All right. Okay.
So yeah, it's 4 actors. But being the clever hacker that you are, you do some social media research and you find that all of these actors were nowhere in that vicinity at the time.
Well, of course. I mean, they're not going to have a From Dusk Till Dawn reunion. All right. So I'm going to take that particular set of coordinates. I'm going to send that back to the email address with a GIF of, with a JPEG. I'm not a monster of From Dusk Till Dawn.
You get an undeliverable message back.
Ah, crap. All right. Well,
message size exceeds the limit allowed by this server or something like that.
All right, then I'm just going to send it with an IMDb link.
You get a response back that basically is it's basically like improper format, something like that.
All right. Well, all right. Coordinates. I got. Can I send just a message that says help?
Sure. And you send the yes. All right, go ahead and make a sanity roll.
Okay. Wow, that's early on. Let's see here. I have a sanity of 75 because I maxed that intentionally, and I get a 71. Oh, that's lucky.
Ooh, nice.
Very
so you lose 1.
Ah.
The message that pops up is simply, "No one can help you now."
Oh, bonsai, buddy. I got it.
All right, that's accurate. Okay. I like what they're doing. Okay. I'm going to try a few more stabs at the format. I'm going to just see what happens if I send in that set of coordinates just without an additional thing.
Yeah, it'll return match if the coordinates are ones that have been sent, and no match if the coordinates haven't been sent.
Oh, okay.
So like if you change a 1 to a 0, it'll say no match, but otherwise it'll say match.
All right. So could I write a script that will search this particular air terminal and others for interesting fake names?
Sure. Yeah.
Or that will just return all the names of recent, and I can pick those out manually.
Okay. Yeah, you do a match on like public figures. You run it through IMDb. A lot of actors' names show up. There's a lot of John and Jane Does that show up.
Perfect. All right, I'm going to find the coordinates that those were launched from, and I'm going to see if I can get a match that was not already sent to me.
Okay. Yeah. You do get one of those.
Yes. All right, so I send that in.
Yeah. It basically says current position in queue. 98 of 100 or something like that. And it has been sending you more of these batches.
Okay. All right, so it already knows. Crap. All right, I'm not. How do I get ahead of this thing? Man. Tough. I can't. Okay, book. Make one. No, I can't do that.
So while you're puzzling over that, we'll shift over to. We'll fast forward to the present, where Adam is. awaiting the police at the hospital. You wait for about, I don't know, half an hour, and the police come in. Give me a luck roll to see if it's a policeman that you worked with before.
No, these haven't quite came out just yet, but I'm sitting in the hospital, uh, sending an email by my cell phone to my employer, my contractor, about what's happened, and in case there's like some kind of deal going on, and absently watching the Today Show, I guess,
Okay,
as it plays in the lobby.
sure.
There's a bunch of people in the background holding up signs, and I think how goddamn lame that is. But please continue.
Yeah, sure. Give me a luck roll to see if the policeman who walks in is one that you've worked with before.
Oh, I thought you give me a luck roll to see if Willard Scott's on today. Did he used to do it?
I thought you're gonna be like, give me a sandy roll because what they're holding up is not good.
I
Oh,
will. I
however,
will note that the debate coverage they had. I kid you not, a marching band playing them in and out of commercial breaks on the pre-coverage. It was like college game day. It was God. How
Weird.
far have we fallen?
well, it's once you realize it's like any good drug deal, and a drug trade, and what they're doing is they're cutting the news with a lot of fake bullshit, and then you kind of expect it. But that's Thornsburg on media. But what was I rolling again?
You don't want
Luck.
uncut news.
So
You might
pal.
OD on it.
Oh God.
Was it int or what was luck?
It'd be
Excuse me.
pal.
Pow. Okay, so yeah, I actually critted this one. I had 55, and I think my pal was 70. Yeah, I
All
haven't
right.
filled that out.
Yeah,
Nice.
so this is a guy that you've run into a lot. You're on good terms with him. He walks in, talks to the desk a little bit, and he just invites you out for a cup of coffee to discuss this.
Okay, so we'll hit the vending machine for coffee and then just step outside a little bit off of hospital property because of smoking,
Yeah.
and we'll just stand out there and smoke in the early Knoxville morning air.
Alrighty. What happened? I mean, that they're working on him. I can't get much information about what's going on. Because they're doing the whole next of kin thing and all that jazz. But um, you know, when you found him, like, was he overdosed? Was he what?
I, well, I mean, to be honest with you, like the whole thing's kind of screwy anyway. Like I'd actually ran into him the other day, and I was getting ready to deliver papers to him, but he just seemed like he was acting erratic. I mean, maybe he had a Bluetooth headset in his ear or something like that. I see him in a gas station, a abandoned, closed down gas station, just talking to himself. So I just kind of erred on the side of caution and decided not to approach somebody if they were off their meds. Came there this morning, knocked on the door. It was open, and perhaps to my favor, or perhaps to my folly, I went ahead and stepped in the house. I found him in his living room, just listening to me, like the static on the television. If I recall right, I mean everything was happening real quick. I mean, shallow breathing, kind of like what he was doing when I dropped him off. His eyes, if I hope I'm not making this up out of character, Dave, I thought I checked them and they were like fully dilated, or maybe
Mm-hmm.
it was REM
Yep.
sleep. I can't remember,
Hmm.
kind of deal. But I didn't see any paraphernalia. The house is very Spartan. There's, I mean, I didn't check the fridge, but I doubt he has anything other than ashtrays and condiments in there. There's nothing in the house except a television, just the bare necessities. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I ran into. I mean, shoot to me straight here. I will now name this officer William. Shoot to me straight here, William. Like, did I do the right thing, or have I placed myself in
I,
a
I think you did all right, but this is gonna sound like a really weird question.
okay,
But what was playing on his TVs?
nothing. It just seemed like static, like which is odd, because When me and you were growing up, we all like, TV shut off and shit like that, and they had like the national anthem playing at 3 a.m. and a picture of an F-16 flying over a majestic American countryside. For those of you that are under 37 or 36 years of age, that shit really happened. but,
Right.
but I mean, it was like he wouldn't set up to the cable or anything. It was just like static. So I don't know. I didn't check his entertainment center setup. Maybe his media center player or whatever DVD maybe make more sense if it's a VHS player, I guess, since like those things would rewind and shut down sometimes. But no, it
Go
was
ahead
just
and give
static.
me a go ahead and give me a human roll when you tell him this.
Okay, let me pull that skill up. Well, for a paranormal investigator, I'm not really good with people, probably.
What are you good
And
at?
46, I fail.
Okay, by how much?
16 points.
Okay. Um, you see,
I would.
you know him pretty well, and I don't know, you've seen him like this is kind of his like, oh shit, more work face. That wasn't on when before you told him about the static.
Hmm.
As a paranormal investigator, I'd argue that it is in your best interest to believe people whenever they tell you things, and as such, you might not have as high a human to detect lies
Yeah,
because
that's
why
true.
would you?
Well, that does make sense. It makes you more open.
Yeah.
Uh, so, yeah, I will kind of like if I'm picking up on this, at least I'll kind of look over at him. Like, is this something I should mention on a police report? You think?
Uh, well, I mean, put it this way: if you mention that on the police report, then we're dealing with some kind of serial thing. But
Mm.
serial watching static, nobody's ever going to be able to crack that.
Well, I mean, people will sit around and do they call them EVPs, electronic voice phenomenon and stuff, where they record like they ask questions and all that. I mean, like maybe this guy, and I hate to tie in my personal line of side business here, but you kind of know I'm a bit on the fringe, but like maybe maybe he was trying to get answers or divining stuff. I've went to conventions and seen people drink a cup of tea and then read the leaves, like the leavings or dregs in the bottom of a glass, kind of deal like that. Like I didn't really. I guess this would probably be me lying too, wouldn't it?
Well,
Like is there?
I think that he actually takes out his pad when you start mentioning this stuff and like
Yeah,
writing it down. You said EVP. Uh,
yeah.
what does that stand for?
Uh, Electronic voice phenomenon. I mean,
Electronic voice phenomenon.
and pretty much. And I hate to talk about my brothers that are on TV shows on the Sci-Fi Channel, but ever since this particular genre of reality TV's popped up, you have people all the time going through cemeteries and asking questions and stuff like that. And by the way, did you ever notice on those shows that they always film their face and they never film the nothing in front of them?
Yep,
It's kind of like, after I watched that Paris Hilton sex tape, it just seemed like I should feel weird watching Ghostbusters or what. No, I'm just joking. I was talking in character, by the way, but
absolutely. No, it's so like he's like, well, I mean, because we've been really scratching our heads about maybe there's some kind of fad going around with this or something like that. But we've been finding lots of people you wouldn't expect. They're not junkies. They're not, you know, low lifes. We've been
yeah.
finding people in nice houses, with just sitting in front of the TV with static passed out, and
Well,
they
I
won't
guess it
show up
wouldn't
for
be
work.
anything.
We go do a knock to see if they're there, and you know, go in, and that's how we find them.
It's it all. Tell you what, it reminds me of, and I don't mean to give you a wild goose chase or anything, but uh, have you ever heard those number stations, Will? Like,
Yeah, yeah. Back in the
I w
Cold War, right?
yeah, sometimes, you know, there's some people out there I think that actually believe that that those kind of transmissions are in other mediums. I mean, who knows? Like when, as I talk about this, I kind of just kind of rattle off. But anyway, I'm glad it was you that showed up here. I mean, like I don't know. I debated on calling the ambulance. I debated on several things. Uh, by the way, I don't know anything. They never told me at at the office about the other party involved in the law, the legal proceedings. So I don't know, if he had enemies or stuff like that. Obviously, he made somebody mad.
Yeah, I can't tell you much about all that, but he was a little free with his money, I guess, is what we'll go with. Liz, this has actually been real helpful. As this thing develops, I'll try and kick some consulting back to you if we run into any more of this stuff. Maybe have you take a look with those fancy meters and shit that you've got over at your place.
Uh, I do what I can. By the way, just off the record, I'm not going to go in anybody's house or anything like that. Was those supposed heroin overdoses I heard about on the news and stuff like that, where people were non-responsive, but they weren't coded or anything? Was that some of this stuff where they were watching static? Is that kind of what?
Yeah, yeah, that's been, we've got the two sort of types. We've got the normal people, the business people, the wives, the school teachers, and then we've got the junkies. And you know, we never really thought about it much with the junkies until it started becoming more prevalent with these. We've been trying to keep it out of the news, and like I said,
Yeah.
off the record, but um, it's something. There's something out. There's some kind of fad or something going on, and I don't know. It just gives me the willies, especially now with what you told me about ghosts and voices and divination and all that.
Would the God, I'm trying to think of I've actually been to Knoxville several times. Uh, trying to think of what county it is actually in. Knox County. Duh. No shit. All right. So
Nice.
as the like if I come up with anything or if I come across anything, because sometimes I get phone calls and cases and stuff like that, I'll definitely, if it seems relevant to what you guys are doing, like I'll definitely drop a line and
Yeah, yeah, you've got my card. Just forward it to the email on there, and I'll make sure it gets to the right people.
sounds great.
Yeah, I really
Well, Will,
appreciate the help.
hey, anytime, brother, anytime. So, is there anything I need to sign before I head on out, or what do you advise me to do right now?
He like gives you a you know textbook report to fill out. He says you can fill this out, on your own time. Just get it to me within the next couple days, and we'll call it good. I don't want to keep you here. I know you got things to do, and more papers to serve. So I'll get out of your hair on this one.
Will do. I thank you, man. Hey, you have a good one.
Yep.
And then I just kind of, as I walk back to my car, I pull out my. By the way, like I think of smoking every day, so that's why I put all my characters to smoking, even though I don't smoke. I pull out my Camel Crush, light
Ooh,
it,
Nice.
yes, yes.
snap the menthol in it, and put on my aviators and go to my beat up. Probably did I say I was driving a Toyota Tercel? I can't remember,
Yeah,
but
I think
like
That
so.
sounds right.
okay, so um, if the scene's still me, or if you're wanting to use this as a transition
Yeah,
in the
we'll
meantime,
transition.
we would say just as we transition, I am going to go back to my house and research those heroin overdoses and just
Alrighty.
see if I can like get a location and maybe take some photos or scout and see if I see anything.
Sure, absolutely. So back to Kyle. What have you been working on?
Oh boy, this is gonna be either smart or stupid. Do you know the Who Is service?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to run Who Is on that particular name at Lockbit to see
Okay.
if I don't know if they're running a Who Is server, but they might be. Might as well try.
It's just like administrator, and then like an address in New Zealand.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. Is it New Zealand, huh? Okay. Well, that's some good info.
There's also a phone contact.
Oh shit. Yes. All right. I'm going to call that up via like Google Hangout or some kind of
Sure.
not my cell phone.
Sure.
I'll call it on VoIP is what I mean.
Okay. Yeah. So you plug in and do that, and rings a few times, and hello, this is Charles.
Hey there, Charles. I am looking for some hints. I don't. I know you're probably not in the business of giving hints, but you did answer the phone, so.
Well, I got all the hints you could possibly ever ask for, but probably
Nice.
more than you're gonna have to be more specific. I got a file cabinet full of hints.
Well, we got this. Right now, I'm on the puzzle with matches, and I don't know how to get. I assume the puzzle is supposed to be I'm supposed to get ahead of the matches, so I don't know. Like I just got. I mean, I just got Q number 98 of 100, so I'm not sure how I'm supposed to win this.
Puzzles win? What are you talking about?
I'm the current user of, and I give my account, and yeah.
Oh, is that? Oh, that. How did you get the key to that thing?
Hey, I'm really good at this, huh?
Hey, you are pretty good at this thing.
Yeah, I could.
Uh,
I'm not. I know I started late, but I am out to win.
I don't think it's a matter of late. I think it's too late, really, if you think about it in the broader context of things. Let's call it historical data.
All right.
And
I mean, I can see that.
the data feed is no longer being updated.
Right. So okay. Well, all right. Has all right. Can you say what the prize is? Is it just finding out what this is marketing for? If this is marketing for like the new Blair Witch, I'm gonna be pissed, man.
I think that the only prize would be not playing.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you've clearly put a lot of work into this. I mean,
it's not something that's meant to be found, really. I applaud your persistence, certainly, and
I don't believe
were this a different time, there'd be some men in black vans showing up in front of your house and taking you to a nice conference room where you'd be given a lucrative job offer, but those days have passed.
I don't think you give lucrative job offers to ARG players. That seems. I don't even do ARGs. This one looked fun.
Oh, this isn't an ARG. This is an RG.
Oh, of course it is. Yeah, really good. Okay, Charles. Is that name part of the? It might be a clue. All right. Prize is not playing. Are you the one who sent along? No one can help me now because that was clever.
No, I think that that's just a joke from when the thing got set up. You see,
nice.
People. It's more of a repeater in case of emergencies. There is an emergency right now, and I guess somebody leaked the info trying to get that out there, that data out there. But it's just one very, very small piece of a much broader puzzle, so to speak. And without any other pieces, you're going to be on its own. It's relatively benign. In the past, that data could have gotten you killed, but I don't think now there's much to worry about.
Yeah, I can see you've made a lot of research into people taking fake flights here, and that's pretty cool. People taking trips down, not down memory lane, but down nowhere, essentially. But I gotta assume that's not actually your ARG company. Like, I mean, I'm just assuming right now that because you would have to, the budget for your movie would have to be crazy to spend this much on flights. And marketing, like these are real records here.
Are you familiar with the overhead line on the congressional budget?
No, but if this movie's being paid for by Congress, then I feel like
It was. It was.
all right.
Again,
Well,
you're a little late for the party, but you certainly have a bit of tenacity around you. There are a number of, shall we say, teams, to use your parlance,
all right.
currently working on what remains of the puzzle, trying to put it back together. Perhaps I could put you in touch with them. One of them.
Okay. What is? You've already told me that there's no prize, so I don't necessarily. I both. There's no prize to divide between us, but there's also necessarily no glory of winning
there's
myself.
certainly a prize to divide amongst the remainder of humanity.
Okay, this sounds good at least. I mean, I'm liking the meta text here.
Oh, did I drop out? Did you guys drop out? I heard a.
It's oh man,
okay.
I can't. I really got nothing. All right, I'll at least talk to him. I mean, how bad could it be?
He just kind of chuckles to himself. Please hold. I'm gonna get a phone number for you. A couple of phone numbers.
All right.
And you hear like the most, old school like.
Yes. I love the obscure hold music.
Elevator hold music, and then he comes back on, and he gives you two phone numbers.
Yeah.
And one of them is a Chicago area code, and one of them is a Tennessee area code.
Oh, nice, local.
And then he says, "This number won't work the next time you try to call. Have fun."
All right, sounds good. I expect something out of this, man.
And the phone's just dead. Didn't even make like a click noise. It's just not there.
All right. Well, I hang up, and I'm gonna call. The. I like Chicago more, so I'm going to call there.
All right. So.
Well, actually, I should not do that. Mm-hmm. I just realized that's Jeff's player. I shouldn't do that. Oh, no.
I was just gonna have it go to voice. You can leave a voicemail for Jeff if you want.
Oh, okay, sure.
All right. So yeah, it rings to voicemail, and I forget. Adam, you remember Jeff's character name?
Not offhand, no. I'm sorry.
All right. So, hello, you've reached Jeff's character.
Right.
I'm currently away from the phone. Please leave a message after the beep.
Beep. Hey, that guy on the phone said I should call you about the game. So, yeah, I want in. I'm good. I could demonstrate my skills. It's Nick Sullivan from Phenomics. And yeah, you should hit me back, and I give him a number he can hit me back at that is like Google Voice, or there's one removed.
Alrighty.
That's cool, man. Like, so your guy is Phenomics?
My character sometimes takes videos and posts it as Phenomics, but is not. I mean, it's just I just lie to people.
Oh, you do realize one of my bonds is the director of Phenomics?
I do actually, yes.
Okay.
You will verify later that I am no one associated with Phenomics, but or maybe he's got a fake thing for me. I don't know. You can figure that out because he's your bond.
Okay, that's cool. I just didn't know if you knew that.
I'm definitely not a real Phenomics cameraman, and my name is not Nick Sullivan. Yeah,
we'll go with it.
All right, I'm going to call the next number.
All right, you're in your car, Adam, and your phone rings. It's the blocked number.
All right, I'm gonna turn the radio down. Get out of my dreams.
Excellent.
Hello.
Hey there. It's a guy, and the guy on the phone said you were playing on a different team, and I am not playing on any team, so I'll totally join yours.
The fuck?
I don't know, man. He listed you and some other guy in Chicago as being a team. So I'm in. Let's do this.
So Do you even know who you called?
Nope, not at all.
Hmm. May I be so bold as to ask with whom I am speaking?
Oh, I'm Nick Sullivan.
Oh, Nick.
I'm sometimes cameraman for Phenomics.
Oh, real. You know what? Maybe that's the connection there, because I've actually done some consulting for Phenomics on occasions.
Does Phenomics have an ARG going?
Well, I mean, they did the old shit back in the day, and then like the cameraman went crazy and a bunch of other stuff. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of they're trying to do the whole Web 2.0, or are we in 3.0 now? I don't know. I haven't been paying attention, but yeah. So yeah.
Are they
Um,
marketing a new season? I mean, is that what this is?
I mean, they're putting stuff together. They're not really like they're pushing for a season, but right now it's just they're kind of building a stockpile. At least that's what Noah tells me anyway. Of course, you
Uh,
do know Noah, I guess.
oh yeah, definitely. I'm madly hitting Google Noah Phenomics. Oh yeah, no, we go way back to his list college career here. Yeah, yeah. I actually met him. He was in the alumnus organization, and I was just getting in, and he gave me some good advice.
Okay. All right. So I look and I see the numbers blocked. Like, all right. So I don't know what this talk is about, a team or something like that, man. I just like I've kind of just like I said, did some consulting for Phenomics. Never, never in front of the camera. More clerical stuff. Like, no, it would be clerical, but you know what I mean, like consulting. But
Oh, all right.
like, is there a particular thing you're that
Oh,
you
I
are?
was I was doing an ARG online, and they gave me your number, and I didn't realize that it was Phenomics' ARG because but now I'm connected with you. Obviously, that's what they're doing. So
Oh,
yeah, it's still exciting though. It's real high production. Like they've tracked actual secret shit. So
right.
I mean,
For
I like what
for
they're doing.
for for narrative purposes, Dave, I am rowing humant.
All right.
And 26. I actually made it.
Okay.
I'm not knowingly lying to him.
Okay.
Okay.
So
My character does believe that he has accidentally stumbled onto the real
Yeah,
Phenomics
yeah,
doing
sure,
some
sure.
marketing.
okay. So it's something I'll follow up with later, but right now I'll just go with it. Like, well, yeah, I mean, I've consulted with them. They wanted me to look, really it was more about I worked with them closer with the snake cults of not cults, but the snake handlers of the Appalachian Mountains kind of story that you may have seen, kind of
I don't.
blurbs.
Yeah, I don't know if I caught that one. I started googling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But
it sounds cool. I like snakes.
yeah, I mean,
I guess they do too, huh?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like it was a little weird, man. Like I did some I wouldn't say necessarily undercover work, but I did kind of put myself out there for that one. But anyway, yeah, like I do apologize. I don't have a great reference point for you here. Are you supposed to be coming to the greater Knox County area?
Not at the moment. Right now I'm in Indianapolis, and it sucks. It's real boring. Not having a good time here.
Well, you know, try the Ram. I hear it's good,
The
but
what?
the Ram, it's a brewery.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. I thought you meant like the animal ram.
no,
That would be. I don't know.
Or
Maybe.
the Hindu god Ram.
Oh
so
shit.
I don't know about
Try
the
it.
I don't know about the contact over in the Chicago area, but yeah, I mean, like if you just like you apparently have my number. If you don't mind, after we get off the phone here, for some reason yours is not coming through. If you could text me your number,
Yeah, I'll
and
do that.
like I said, I'm not really working on anything in particular. I mean, if they did maybe the paperwork, or I could. I
Huh.
guess I should check with Noah when I get back to the house. I'm kind of on the road right now. So I need to finish that out. The next verse is "Get into my car," Billy Ocean.
Excellent.
But
So, yeah.
so like out of character, it's just I'm like I don't see
Oh, sure.
the
Yeah.
That's
point in
fine.
like, hey, I'm looking for tendrils going out people's heads. But
Oh, absolutely.
Phenomena could not possibly know that you were doing that.
yeah,
So,
so
yeah.
like I said, you're jumping back in now. Yeah, so definitely I'll give you a buzz. I'm kind of working on some angles here, and maybe if Noah's interested in stuff like that, maybe we can work together on that. But
All
it's
right.
been a real pleasure, Nick. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Nick
All right,
Sullivan.
Nick Sullivan. Well, Nick, just call me if anything comes up, man. Look forward to working with you.
Likewise.
Okay.
If this is work, whatever this is, I'm excited about it.
Same here.
Yeah. All
And
right. I hang up,
okay.
Alrighty.
and
So,
I'm going
I
to send him my. Oh,
go ahead.
I'm going to send him my business card, and or I'm going to send him my regular phone number, my whatever this phone number is I'm using, and a burner Gmail.
Okay. Sure.
Uh, a Nick Sullivan business card.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Basically, yes.
Excellent. Alrighty. So, I'm going to say that all of the goals that I set out to achieve with this one have been completed, and we now
Nice.
have the hook set up. So I guess we'll go ahead and close here. I'd like to thank you guys for joining us for this episode of Agents, Aliens, and Assange here on the Remembered Slopes. If you'd like to donate to the podcast, please head over to otrs.space, hit the donate link at the top of the page. Also, probably will be a link on the video as well. So do that. Also, subscribe to the channel because until we have 100 subscribers, we have this really complicated URL that UCP885A9CVEOYAB9I underscore X6. That's our channel
Obviously, something
URL.
that's something conspiracy would use.
Exactly. So if you'd like to have something you can remember, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
Nice.
Yeah. Beyond that, I'd like to. Yeah. Thanks for coming out, and we hope to see you next week. I believe is next week going to be time to harvest again.
No, if
Okay.
I'm not mistaken, Jeff is going to be getting back, and
Okay.
while technically he could, like, we're just going to
Yeah.
kind of.
Don't want to put that voodoo on him. Yeah.
Nice.
So I guess join us in 2 weeks for Time to Harvest, and then 3 weeks from now we will have another episode of full episode of Agents, Aliens, and Assange. So check back in with us then, and be sure to watch the other videos so you get the story thus far.